champion! Champions of Europe finally! History made in Istanbul! The treble complete! The greatest story in club history has ended! And what a final chapter!
Hello everybody and welcome back to Typical City. Wolves are the hosts of the treble winners today. Looking forward to this game. Huge 3 points up for grabs with Spurs facing Liverpool later. Who's going to drop points out of those two sides? I'm kind of hoping Liverpool in truth. And that makes this game vitally important because I think Liverpool, they're going to be the main challengers for Manchester City going over the course of this season. And now, with them being just behind us, right on our heels, it's a case of who drops points next. The next team to drop points out of Liverpool and City, I think will build a title race or potentially really send a shockwave, because if Liverpool go further behind to City, then I think that's huge as well. Just as big an implication for the rest of the season. I think it's going to be a big game this, quietly, this early as well. Very early, but win, lose or draw, quite frankly, it's not going to ruin my day. Because there's only one thing in this world more important than Manchester City, and that is my son, who I got to see his first game today, and this has nothing to do with the game. I got to see his first game today for a football team, a genuine football team. He's 6 years old, he scored 2 goals, got man of the match, they won 6-2, so I am absolutely buzzing right now, and City goes down the pecking order when it comes to my son, the only thing to knock City down the pecking order, so I am buzzing right now. But ultimately, he's left the house right now, so my focus has shifted very much towards Manchester City and the Wolves team, and there's no better place to start than Kalvin Phillips. I think a lot of City fans are now jumping for joy, which I think is despicable. It's a disgrace to see some City fans celebrating the idea of a certain player not playing, in truth, because you might not want him to play, but celebrating it? Really? Doesn't he wear a City shirt? I'm pretty sure he dons a Manchester City shirt. I'm pretty sure Pep and Cheeky and the rest of the board signed him. I think it spells the end for Kalvin Phillips, and I understand that is probably it. For him to have not played in this game is a huge indication of where Pep sees and the faith that he has in Kalvin Phillips. Now, I'm not an idiot. I'm not a mug. I understand I'm going to pick Pep's decision over anyone else's decision, and probably including my own, when it comes to my opinion of Manchester City. So for him to have not played Kalvin Phillips in this game is a massive statement from Pep, and a sad one for Kalvin Phillips, and I think it spells the end of him. I can't see City selling him in January, to be honest. I think we're going to maybe need him, because if Rodri does something stupid again, we might need him. But in truth, Kovacic and Nunez, it inspires me a lot. I think the midfield is going to have a lot of creativity, but will it protect the back four? Because they're not defensive midfielders. Kalvin Phillips is the only defensive midfielder that we have. And without Kalvin Phillips, there's not that much defensive nous in that midfield. Kovacic is better dribbling and carrying the ball forward. Nunez, same again. Can they work together and make a solid defensive unit? That's what you're hoping for, in truth. But, yeah, in all honesty, I feel for Phillips. I do feel for him. I really do. And I think, to be honest, it's the end of Kalvin Phillips, isn't it? I think it's the end. I think if you're not playing in this game, when are you going to play? Because Rodri's out. Rodri's out. He's done, finished for 3 games at least. And now you're looking at John Stones for that Arsenal game, because I can't see Kovacic and Nunez playing against Arsenal. I mean, defensively, there's no protection for that back four. We did that in the Champions League. Sack it. We don't need a defensive midfielder. We did that in the Champions League final against Chelsea. How did that work out? It's risky. And Wolves, the way they played against Liverpool in the first half of this season, they should have been 3 or 4-0 up. So if Wolves come out of the traps like they did against Liverpool and play like that against us, it's going to be a big game. It's a really tasty game this is going to be. But I'll give you the full team in a minute. Just before I do, I want to say hi to a few of you guys who were in quite early. PUBG Gaming, good to see you, mate. He's predicting 3-0. Is Pep going to be there? No, I did question that in the Newcastle game. what are the stipulations for managers in terms of yellow cards? I know players are normally given 5 yellow cards and then they're suspended. And that's wiped. The slate is cleaned at Christmas, I believe. So once you go into 2024, you get a fresh bill of health and you can start kicking people again and getting more yellow cards. But yeah, 3 seems to be the rule for managers. I didn't know that, in truth. So Pep is banned for this game. So those that were saying Pep doesn't give a shit about the League Cup and why he was kicking off at the end of the game and getting himself booked against Newcastle, he clearly did care about it, because there's no way he didn't know that if he goes and gets himself another yellow card that he won't be suspended. And if he didn't know, that's poor. That's poor management from Pep Guardiola, because surely he should have known that he was about to get suspended when that yellow card was whipped out. So that's really disappointing. And he's a big presence that's going to be missed. It's really, really a tough decision to take on the chin, this one. Buggen, certified number 1 Grealish fan, predicts he's going to come on in the 70th minute and get an assist. I knew Doku was playing today. The fact that Jack got 90 minutes against Newcastle was probably an indication that Pep was going to play Doku today, rather. But you're still sticking with him. You're sticking by Grealish, aren't you? You're a loyal fan, mate. You're a loyal Grealish fan. Fair play to you, and hopefully it does. Hopefully it doesn't need to be an assist to get us the win. Hopefully the game's done and dusted by the 70th minute. Sasha, good to see you, mate. Douglas, good to see you. 4-0 City win for Adele predicting that. Hopefully, mate. What did I predict? I can't even remember what I predicted. I think I predicted 3-1 to City in the preview. Douglas saying, it looks like that's it for Phillips. Pep basically said he cannot take on instructions. He did. He did say that, didn't he? I did my preview prior to Pep's interview, and that's not the first time I've done that this season, and it's not the first time it's bitten me firmly in the buttocks after a pre-match press conference from the manager has completely contradicted my preview. I would never have put Phillips in. And what Pep said in that pre-match press conference was a big clue as to what he was going to do and his genuine belief for Kalvin Phillips. It's sad, really, and I mean, I'm not in the game of sentiment. I don't really believe in we should, just because he's a lovely guy, that Kalvin Phillips, he's a nice guy, so we should play him. I don't believe in that at all. I just believe we've not seen enough of him. But there's plenty of players and coaches that have seen enough of him, but City fans haven't seen enough of him. So the City fans that are completely ruling out Kalvin Phillips from the very small glimpses that we're given on a football pitch during a competitive match, I mean, they're clutching at straws for actually getting it right. I can't see that as a genuine. That's more of a shot in the dark than an actual it's an uneducated guess. Whereas Pep Guardiola is incredibly educated and he's privy to watching Kalvin Phillips in training. So surely there is something that he's doing in training or not doing in training that makes Pep think, I can't play you, mate. I don't trust you. And that's fair enough. If Pep says that, then Pep says that. We've got to go with Pep, haven't we, at the end of the day? Hamza Khan, as I said, people who thought Phillips would start this game were hilarious. There you go. They echoed what I just said, basically. This celebration of players not playing is sad, really. Hamza, that's no need, mate. There's no need. Absolute City is best, bro. Absolutely. Douglas, I was one of them. If he can't start this game, then he will only see him in the league when the game is over. Yeah, see out the game, probably. I think that could be Pep's intentions. The players are now walking out, get the game won. Nunez and Kovacic. That's exciting from a creativity point of view. Okay. The thing is, Blues, it's a big if, because I like to think we're going to win this game. If we don't win this game, who are we blaming? Who are we blaming today? Because it ain't Kalvin Phillips, is it? You know, it's not going to be Kalvin Phillips, so we need to find someone else. Those type of fans that celebrate Kalvin Phillips not playing, they're going to have to find someone else to blame. And, you know, they're the type of people that will shift their focus onto someone else to blame. They never blame Pep. They never blame certain individuals, like Rodri, for example, who's put us in this predicament. Rodri is a fabulous player, my favourite player at the current form, at least. I mean, Kevin De Bruyne, when he comes back, he's probably getting in there as my favourite. But really, on form, Rodri is probably everyone's favourite player right now. But let's not pretend he wasn't a fool for doing what he did to Gibson White. That was stupidity at the highest calibre. Like, what are you thinking, mate? Raising your hands like that. The game was done and dusted. There was no need to do it. And he has put us in this predicament. But he has credit in the bank, so City fans don't pick on him. And you're never going to get that on this channel. And I hope you realise that I'm never going to just pick on players because I have a certain agenda. I feel like a lot of people have an agenda against Kalvin Phillips, but other players get a free pass. Haaland gets a free pass. Credit in the bank. I understand that. But in the course of that 90-minute match, we have to analyse that 90 minutes. It's not like, oh, what did he do in the 90 minutes? He played poorly. Doesn't matter because he scored a lot of goals last season. Or Rodri scored in the Champions League final. How did he do in that first 2 minutes against Nottingham Forest in the second half? Doesn't matter because he scored in the Champions League final. Yes, it does. It matters. We're missing Rodri for 3 games now. Of course it matters. It absolutely matters. We can't just shift our focus and go with the wind and in terms of like which player is our favourite. You know, it's nonsensical. It really is. So we have to go with Pep first and foremost. So the fact that Pep doesn't believe in Kalvin Phillips is enough for me to think and to trust Pep, and I'm gutted for him, to be honest, as the individual. But as the player, I see what Pep's thinking here. Obviously, there wasn't enough in that Newcastle game for Phillips to have cemented a place in Pep's mind to say, right, Pep, you're playing me in that Wolves game. Obviously not, unfortunate. But let's get the team news because they're about to walk out. I'm sure you've already seen it, to be honest. But Edison in goal, Walker, Akanji, Ruben Diaz and Ake. So I've got everyone right, by the way, except Kalvin Phillips. The only player that I got wrong was Kovacic coming in instead of Kalvin Phillips. Other than that, I got 10 out of 11. Nunez, Kovacic sitting in front of the back 4, which will probably be more of a back 3 with Walker pushing forward. Foden, Alvarez and Doku, Haaland up top. And the bench, Kalvin Phillips, Grealish, Ortega, Gomez, Gvardiol, Carson, Bob, Lewis. Bob would be nice to bring on, you know, at the end of the game. If we're winning, of course, as well. Even if we're losing, he's the type of player. He's got creativity. We saw that against Newcastle. He could be a good player to bring on in that game. At the end of this game, rather. Just bear with me 1 second, just sorting out my stream. And the Wolves team is... There was always an issue with Bellegarde, who got suspended. Who were they going to play in attacking midfield behind Mateus Cunha, who is someone we really need to watch out for today, as well as Neto, of course. But they've completely shifted. It looks like a back 5. On paper, it's a back 3, but with the team you're going up against being Manchester City, I'm looking at the team here, they've actually gone, yeah, it is a back 5. It is going to be a back 5 with 2. So 5, 2, 3, which is Jose Sarr in net, Dawson, Kilman and Gomez as 3 centre-backs. Right wing-back is Nelson Semedo. Left wing-back is Ait Nori. Lamina and Yao Gomez sitting in defensive midfield as the double pivot. Neto on the right. Hwang Hee-chan on the left. And Mateus Cunha up front, who is a dangerous, dangerous player we need to be careful of. Neto, of course, as well. He got his goal against Luton. 10-man Wolves managed to pick up a point away to Luton, who seem to be the whipping boys of the Premier League. Good to see so many of you in the chat as well. Bit disappointing it's all kicking off with Kalvin Phillips, which has split the City fans, of course. But let's be respectful of one another. There's no need to pick on one another with regards to Kalvin Phillips. I understand that some of you preferred Kalvin Phillips. Some of you definitely didn't want to see him on the team. But at the end of the day, the same goal is Manchester City winning. And the best man, the captain behind the wheel of the ship, is Pep Guardiola. And what he says goes. So let's get back together as one unit, shall we? Eric Welch, good to see you, mate. Big up, Johnny. Sorry if I misspelt that wrong. You spelt it spot on. Well, to be honest, it's my nickname. So spell it how you want. But J-O-M-M-Y is absolutely... That's how I spell it. Anyway, I'm great, mate. Hope you're doing well. Nunez will be booed heavily today, by the way. Hamza says he will. Absolutely. With returning to Wolves... Can you blame the Wolves fan? Let's be honest. That's if Kalvin Phillips wanted a move and he went on strike to do it, I'm pretty sure the City fans would boo. If any City player went on strike to get his move out of the club, City fans would boo them. So it's understandable. The Molineux is going to be a hostile environment for Nunez. City donning their white and maroon, burgundy, claret and shorts collar, which is a nice kit. I thought they could have wore blue today, to be honest. I don't see why it's clashing, but you got to get your money's worth out of these kit. I'm looking forward to Haaland today because I think he's, you know, Ollie Watkins as well is close on his heels as well. He bagged a hat-trick today. Brighton what are they doing? Like absolute madness from Brighton. I was talking about them about 3 or 4 videos ago, at the end of last week I think it was, talking about potential title rivals, and the first team I spoke about was Brighton because they were so high up the table. Well, put that one in the bin, shall we? So you can't be going away to Villa and losing 6-1 and call yourself genuine title challengers. They never really were, in truth. But top 4 contenders, yes, definitely. I thought they should be top 4 contenders. They're a really good team. But it seems like they're a good team on their day now. And on their day can disappear. You know, losing at home to West Ham 3-1. That was a shock. Teams are about to kick off. Ready to go. Mateus Cunha standing over the ball. Going to be a Wolves to kick off. Travis Tarr, congrats. That's awesome. Game underway. What's awesome? Oh, you must be talking about my son. Yeah, D Harsh asking the same. How's your son's match? It went really well, mate. Went really well. I'm buzzing, must be honest. Yeah, absolutely buzzing. He scored 2, mate. I was going mental. So, yeah, there you go. Núñez received the ball. Boo! Straight away from the Molineux Stadium. Akanji. So, yeah, we've gone straight to that system that we've become pretty familiar with Ake left centre-back, Ruben Diaz right in the middle, Akanji right back. Kovacic looks to be playing the Rodri role, Kalvin Phillips role, much deeper. He's getting closest to Diaz in the back 3. Núñez is much further up the pitch compared to Kovacic. So in terms of the two, out of Núñez and Kovacic, who you think is going to be the most defensive out of the two? I would have picked Kovacic myself, and Pep's done the same. Doku down the left side into Núñez, which is we're going to hear that a lot, booing today. Foden down the right. Walker. See, this is a familiar start to City. All of the ball, only 2 minutes in, mind you, or 1 minute and a bit in. Similar to Newcastle, total control. You just want to see a bit more chances, don't you? A bit more creativity. Because we only really had the 2 shots to talk about against Newcastle. But here's Doku, tackled. Neto bringing it away. Against Nathan Ake. Inside to Lamina, dispossessed by Doku. Núñez and Kovacic linking up well. Alvarez. Issa Hamilton, I'm glad that people continue to defend Phillips. It reflects well upon the fan base, I think, but I let out an audible hallelujah when I saw the team sheet. He's just got to go. Sorry, Calvin. Eric Welch, yes, well done, son. Glad you got to see him play. Yeah, I was buzzing, mate. Buzzing. Let's hope Núñez can cope with the boos today, Hamza. Absolutely. Yeah, I said it in my preview. If you're the type to go on strike, then you've probably got a backbone. You've got a spine, haven't you? So I imagine your mental capacity is, you're quite assured with yourself. So I doubt the boos are going to affect him. I think Raheem Sterling was one of the worst for receiving that hostile reception, going away to Anfield in particular, of course. There was a period of time where Raheem Sterling was just booed no matter where he went. For some reason, England just decided to hate him. That sums up our nation, really, doesn't it? There's no particular reason for doing that, but yeah, they did. Yeah, Núñez, I think he can cope with it. Núñez bringing it forward. Doku. My stream might come in and out of sync with you guys, so I hope you're watching it. I'm doing my best to keep it up to sync, but it is a temperamental stream. Jeff with the 5. Really appreciate that, mate. 2 minutes in honour of my son's birthday today. His name is Desmond and he's 2 years old. Happy birthday to Desmond, mate. Big, big happy birthday to him. That's awesome, mate. Thank you for the super chat as well. Happy birthday to him. A lot of family love today on the chat, which is good. Marie in the chat, big up Jeff for the super chat. Section 20, good to see you. Happy birthday to your little fella, mate. Yeah, lots of love for Jeff's son there. Good to see. 4-0 to City, James is predicting. Alvarez, Doku. Where's everyone watching the game from today? In terms of whereabouts in the world, not what channel you're watching it on, but what part of the world are you watching it in? I know a lot of you, to be honest. I know James is in Thailand. I know Jeff is in America. Argentina. Oh yeah, I remember. Lancashire Jan. Scotland, section 20. Yeah, my stream's all over the place in terms of minutes. It keeps coming back and forth. I'm going to keep you up to date. There's a standard definition version that I'm going to have to drop to, which is actually a couple of minutes behind. Well, it's like a minute behind the clock that you can see just there. I'm going to put my finger there to help you, as if you can't see it. India, Sean, good to see you. Manchester, Danny W. Yeah, so this stream's a bit more reliable, but it's more delayed. So the clock isn't in sync with what I'm watching now. So I can change that if it bothers you. But we're on the 3rd minute now, which is a bit shit, isn't it? So I'm going to reset the clock. Sorry, everybody. I'll try to at least. Yeah, that's where I'm up to date. The clock and my match is now up to sync. So sorry if you're behind me. But yeah, there's nothing I can do about the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Unfortunately, I have to rely on some dodgy streams. But all City so far, which is good. To be honest, I've seen this. It's like I've just seen this bit. Hastings, Steve White. Oh, Wolves fans singing Nunez, you're a... I'll let you figure out the rest of the... I gave you the first letter. Begins with C. So Pep being on the touchline, how's that going to impact us? It didn't really bother us with... when Juan Malilo was there, we won all our games, did really, really well. Now it's like it's a tougher bit of fixtures. I presume it's just a 1 game, with this being the only one. We can't not have Pep against Arsenal. That would be huge. That would be huge. Akanji out to Doku, left wing, brings it down. Edge of the area. Kovacic cuts inside. So yeah, total domination. Inside, Nunez, back post. Oh! Haaland, so close. Great bit of defending. Is that Dawson or Kilman? I can't see who it was, but it was brilliant bit of defending from Wolves there, because Haaland was waiting for a tap in Dawson. Dawson's a great defender. He's been around for a long time, isn't he? Dawson. West Brom was where he made a name for himself in the Premier League. He's got an eye for goal as well, Dawson. Lovely ball from Diaz into Nunez. First time cross, almost on the corner of the 6-yard box. Left foot volley across the face of goal to Haaland, who was waiting. And a good bit of defending, intercepted it. Free kick to City. Alvarez whipped in, near post. Cleared half-heartedly. Doku, edge of the area. He's got to shoot. Shoots. Just past the post. Good effort. Is it a corner? Deflected corner ball. Yeah, so sorry about the stream, guys. It's so unreliable. If anyone's got a stream they want to give me in future, by the way, you're more than... Well, I say you're more than welcome, but I mean, some of you guys are probably paying for it. If any of you across the pond have got a stream that's a bit more reliable than this. Alvarez corner. Doku back post. Volleyed. Oh, Doku again. Let on his left foot. Inside. Akanji. Akanji again. Got to be. Come on. Oh, domination from City. Akanji just runs it out. Really unlucky there. Got his shot away. Good bit of defending from Wolves, but really could have been a real goal-scoring opportunity for Akanji there. Yeah, I'm looking for a stream in future. This game I won't be using a stream because I'm using an app. I turned my my PC into a Google Android phone basically to make this work. My PC is a Windows PC, and I won't go into the boring technicality of how to make it work, but it's not reliable. It's reliable now in the sense that I've gone to standard definition, which is really pixelated, but it's still choppy a bit, which makes it shit for you guys. So if any of you guys in the future have got a stream that's reliable, do you know what? I'd pay you as well. I'll pay you. You know, if you've got a bill that you want to cut in half, I'll go halves on you with a bill. If you're across the pond and you've got access to Peacock or something like that, I'll sort you out. Don't worry. Get in touch with me on an email because you'll be helping the channel out as well. Because this 3 o'clock kickoffs in England are shit for me. But Sky and anything that's televised in the UK, I've got access to, obviously. But it's these sort of kickoffs that I'm struggling with at the minute. To get a nice, reliable stream where I can really present the game to you in a decent way without minutes, seconds going back and forth. But yeah, 7 minutes in. All City so far, which is good. Diaz straight down the middle. Didn't read it. Alvarez, Haaland didn't see the ball there. He was going in behind. But here come Wolves. Neto's a good player, isn't he? Looks really good. Yeah, there are, Jan. There are not conversations taking place where 3 p.m. games on Saturday will be televised. They're doing the best, aren't they? The reason they're not televised in the UK is to try and not kill the fan-going supporter. Do you know what I mean? The lower league fans that go to the 3 o'clock kickoffs. You know, they know that if they all were televised the Premier League games, it makes the lower leagues likely have a smaller attendance because people are more likely to stay at home and watch the big teams play because it's more entertaining, and it lowers the attendance and has a knock-on effect in the pyramid. So I understand why the embargo or the whatever you want to call it, the reason why they don't televise 3 o'clock kickoffs. But eventually, money's going to play a part, isn't it? And soon we'll have this Premflix type situation where we have a Netflix equivalent of the Premier League showing all the games. I've always said years ago that you should have a season ticket, like a TV season ticket. Do you know what I mean? Like, you pay whatever a year to watch your team, and if you want to pay for another team, a one-off game, then you just pay for it as a one-off game, like a pay-per-view. But you can buy a season ticket for your club. I think that makes sense because most fans would opt for that. But yeah, Wolves offering very little going forward. They've barely crossed the halfway line at the minute. All City so far. Jeff, Haaland to score around the 20th minute mark. Doku to assist. There we have it. It's in the bag. A Jeff prediction. Call it a day. That's it. It's a safe one today. Nearly slipped then. Safe one today. Jay's Killers, let's hope you're right, mate. Jay's Killers, 4-0 City. I'm pleased, Jay's Killers, to see you're not going for a 3-0 Wolves or something like that. Because pretty sure the last 2 streams you've gone... To be fair, you called it against Newcastle. You did say 1-0 Newcastle. You got it spot on. But yeah, you've gone 4-0. Wolves knocking the ball forward for the first time. Brought down. Gomez bringing it forward. Wolves first chance for them really by the looks of this. Mateus Cunha looking good. Bringing it forward. Whipped in. Cleared. Gomez on the ball. Knocks it back. Kilman. Wolves first bit of play from them. Semedo. Back to Kilman. Down the line to Neto. This is looking dangerous. Crossed in. Foden nods it away. Underneath it's Nunez. Nods it down to Alvarez. Tries to clear it. Intercepted by Semedo. Dawson knocks it forward. First bit of spell really from Wolves this. Knocks it out for a throw-in. Oh, you kidding me? Seen the chat. You're kidding me. I'm miles behind you guys. That's... No way. Oh, no way. Given away by Kovacic. Neto bringing it forward. Good bit of speed. Beats Ake, which is not good. And here, Neto in. Oh, that's a scummy, scummy goal. Nathan Ake beaten. To be honest, had an attempted tackle, but Neto rides it down the right wing, gets into the byline, crosses it in. Ruben Diaz, attempted cross, knocks it into his own net. Gutted. Gutted. Really. It's not been a bad start, in truth. Really good start from City. Total control, similar to Newcastle. All City, and out of nothing, here we go. 1-0 down. Who are we blaming for this? Is it Kalvin Phillips' fault? Bloody Kalvin Phillips, what's he doing on the bench? Must have done something on the bench to make that happen, because there was absolutely no protection there. Kovacic gave it away, mind you, as well. Before that attack started, Kovacic gave it away. What are we going to do? We're going to come in for Kovacic now? The Kalvin Phillips haters, they've got to find someone else to pick on now, haven't they? Really disappointing. Good play from Pedro Neto. He's the danger man, isn't he? Fucking hell. Put that on the board. 1-0 Wolves. Really gutted. That's awful. Foden gave it away. He gave it away earlier on, didn't he? But it was Kovacic in the middle of the park. Sloppy bit of play from Kovacic. And that's the thing in defensive midfield. Like, you can't be making mistakes. The same applies to anyone who plays there. It's not just Kovacic or Kalvin Phillips or Rodri. It's such a pinnacle part of the midfield that you need to be faultless almost, you know. And Rodri became that. In his first season, Rodri was making mistakes all the time, giving away chances. But here we are, 1-0 down again. It's getting a bit silly, this. Well, what is it now? West Ham, Red Star, Newcastle, Wolves. 4 games of this season so far, we've gone 1-0 down. We've got to cut it out. Because we found out against Wolves that you don't always turn it round. You know, you might have a fantastic spirit and the quality of the players that were on the pitch against Newcastle is arguably much less than there is today. So you're hoping we can turn it round today. But you can't keep going down 1-0 down like this and getting away with it. It'll bite you in the arse eventually. Here come Wolves again. Over the top. Walker couldn't bring it down. Dawson bringing it forward. Skinning him. Walker showing a bit of strength. Good bit of play from Kyle Walker there. Really good. Don't expect a sloppy, stupid pass like that from a veteran with 100 caps. What's that all about, says Humongous. Was that Kovacic you were talking about? I went for 2-1 scoreline, so it's all good, says Section 20. Jack, good to see you in the chat, mate. I saw you further up there. I haven't said hi to you. Hope you're doing well, mate. We still have 74 plus minutes. Absolutely, James. It's just the 1-0. It's not the case of how long's left. It's just how many times are we going to go 1-0 down this season? Run it back, GG. We've often been conceding first, which is a big worry. It really is, mate. To be fair to Jeff, he didn't predict it would be 1-0, did he? He just predicted Haaland would score around the 20th minute. He didn't predict it to be 1-0. So I'm making excuses for Jeff here because we all love Jeff and his mystic abilities, his telepathy with Manchester City Football Club. Doku down the left-hand side into Nunez. We've slowed it down a lot here. The possession's controlled but very, very slow. Wolves don't really have to shift across the pitch to mark their man at the minute. It needs more movement. Alvarez showing a nice bit of movement there into the pocket. That's what we need more of. Pull them apart, stretch them, use the width, get players into the pockets. Foden coming short for it. Back to Akanji. Diaz. Akanji. Diaz. Nunez has definitely got the free roll out of the two between Kovacic and Nunez. Nunez seems to be tucked on the left, actually, but drifting into pockets. Ruben Diaz bringing it forward. Kyle Walker. We need to respond quickly here. Get a one back quickly. Kyle Walker with a sloppy bit of play. Brings down Dawson. Referee's going to blow for that. He does. Yellow card for Kyle Walker. Sorry, it wasn't Dawson. It was Nori who shaved his head, which is why I got confused. Around the 20-minute mark, says Jeff. We're moving the goalposts for you, mate, because we still believe in you, but we're those goalposts are getting quite far apart now, aren't they, for your predictions? But playing far too slow, says Jan. Completely agree. We did this against Newcastle. Nunez bringing it forward. Edge of the area. Into Haaland's feet. Haaland showing some strength. Nice footwork. Oh, he's dispossessed. Good bit of footwork, knocking it between his 2 feet there, Haaland. But this is the worry. Neto on the break, and here he goes again down the right-hand side against Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake's not doing well against Neto so far. He's drifted inside to Diaz. Walker intercepts brilliantly. Ray and Nori. It's got to be another yellow card, referee. You've just given Kyle Walker a yellow card for stopping a counter-attack. Ray and Nori's just done exactly the same, so get your yellow out. What's he doing, referee, here? To be fair, Kyle Walker did, he grabbed his man, to be fair, but still, you're preventing a counter. There's no difference in what you prevented. You prevented a counter, and should be a yellow. Why is he not giving him a yellow? Where's the consistency, referee? Yeah, you're all right, Jeff. Got to give him a 3-minute bumper, either side. Got the Premier League scores alongside me. United a draw into Palace. Everton draw into Luton. That's all I can see so far. Arsenal 1-0 up. Shit. Against Bournemouth away. Saka goal. This is a huge game for the momentum going forward because we started the season so well. But you drop points now with Liverpool right on our heels. You'll give them so much belief. So much belief. But you beat Wolves here and send them away to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's huge, from a psychological point of view. Free kick, referee. Nunez goes down, doesn't give it. Famujong from Cameroon. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. The only consistency with refereeing is the poor standards, says Section 20. I agree, it really is. This game's been... There was a foul on Nunez, and he's just giving it no problem. Throw into Wolves, apparently. There's a little threat from Wolves. There really is. Every time they get the ball, I feel a bit panicked. Especially when it goes down that right-hand side with Pedro Neto. I thought this game would pan out much better than this. So far, this has gone completely against what I thought. I thought we'd come out with way more control than this. And I had a good feeling about this game. That serves me right for believing in my gut. Still plenty of time. We can turn this round. It's just with this, there's something needs to change here because there's no chances have been created so far. And every time we give it up, they look threatening on the counter-attack. Akanji coming right through the middle. Walker. James, we've got this. Alvarez will score. We'll ride the course, he says. Doku, inside. Oh, he's whipped it past the post. There's a nice bit, there's good intentions from Doku. That's what you want to see. Something a bit different. I'm wondering if Jack Grealish will get some minutes today because I think Jack Grealish was way more likely to play if we went 1-0 up. You're winning the game, Jack Grealish is the perfect player to bring on, really, isn't he? And you just get it to Jack Grealish. He'll keep the ball more often than not. He didn't keep the ball that well against Newcastle. He was actually dispossessed 4 times and unsuccessful touches 4 times. But his pass completion was 100%, which is mental. Nunez. Foden. Diaz. Out to Walker. Tuna, good to see you. Hot hits, good to see you. Is that true? We've yet to score since Rodri's red card. Alvarez with a... It was Ruben Diaz, sorry, with a chance inside the box and just blocked by Wolves there. Sub 2. Yo, that's a red. You're ahead of me, mate. Who's... Let's have a look at this. What's going to happen? We need to attack the right half space better. That is the weakness I've seen in Wolves, says Hot Tits. Yeah, Ryan Aitnori, sorry, is brilliant going forward, but you're absolutely right. He is definitely something we can pick on down their left side. Do you mean our right side, presumably, because he can go missing. Defensively, he can switch off. I think Semedo on the other side is a much more solid, defensive-minded player. $112 in the building. If we could pop a like on the stream, that would be really, really helpful, guys. If you could. Very much appreciated. Doku. Twisting, turning, beats his man down to the touchline. Whipped in. Over everybody. Not really cleared by Wolves. Still waiting for this red card attempt that Sub 2 spotted. Yeah, you're miles ahead of everybody, aren't you? I'm just waiting for this incident. Oh, there it is. There it is. High foot. You could hear Akanji scream, couldn't you? Hwang going in hard there. Let's have a look at this. Walker's... I presume it's not been given as a red. Yeah, it's the fact that both of them rose their feet. If Akanji's was hip high, but Akanji was also hip high. If Hwang won the ball, Akanji would have connected with him most likely, wouldn't he? But the fact that Hwang went in with his studs does make it. It was a definite yellow. Jeff says he sees it. I agree, mate. I think it's probably an orange, but I mean, you've seen him given, haven't you? You really have seen him given. Just seen this own goal back. It's shite, isn't it? It's not poor from Diaz. It's just shite in terms of luck. Really unlucky. He does what he's supposed to do there. He tries to block the cross. Just clips off his knee. Could have gone anywhere. Can't really blame Diaz for that, for the own goal. Just a bit of bad luck, really. First glimpse of Wolves going forward, and it's 1-0, isn't it? It's gutted. And now the narrative's in place. The script has been written. Wolves are just going to protect this now, aren't they? Look after it. Stay at the back. Try and hit us on the break again. It's perfect for Wolves, this game. And it's, I wouldn't call it a nightmare scenario, but it's certainly not ideal for City, this, at all. Yeah, I agree, Hot Sits. He did commit there, didn't he, Ake? Which is not like him. Normally he just rides challenges, doesn't he? But Neto rode his challenge and he just goes along with it, waits for them to get to the byline, corners them down a blind alley, then he steps in when he smells blood, Ake. And he's brilliant at that in one-on-one situations. But he really committed, didn't he, against Neto, who's bursting down the right wing. And that gave him a free run into the byline. And the cross was enough for a goal. But free kick to City, about, 30 yards out here. This is a huge game on the quiet now, isn't it? Because we can lose our top spot now, can't we, if we lose this game? And Liverpool, who are playing at 5:30, go and beat Spurs. This is disappointing, isn't it? Surely we're getting a goal in this game. But free kick, Alvarez, dink, back post, Ake, headed, blocked by Semedo. Still Ake, bicycle kick, oh! Blocked and cleared, Doku bringing it down. Good bit of play from a nice free kick, one straight off the training ground, that. Doku showing his strength. Free kick again, yeah, gives it. Ake, so unlucky, nearly redeemed himself for... I don't think Ake is entirely to blame for that goal, really. I think there was a lot of mistakes happened. But the dominoes started tumbling didn't they? One mistake in the middle of the park, giving it away to Wolves. Wolves broke on us. Ake followed up with a mistake of his own. Diaz followed up with a mistake of his own. You know, I think, yeah, probably the biggest culprit in there was Ake. He didn't need to commit in that situation. But anyway, free kick, City. Crossing situation. Alvarez and Foden standing above it. Haaland waiting in the middle. Foden whips it in. Cleared by Dawson. Only to the edge of the area. Kovacic nods it back in. Dawson again underneath it. Boots it clear. Hwang gets underneath it. Alvarez back to mop up there. A very dangerous situation, to be honest. Ederson knocks it straight down the middle of the park. Back to Alvarez, who dinks it left wing to Doku. Doku sprinting at his man. Inside to Nunez. Walker. Haaland brings it down in the area. Out to the byline though. He's been forced away from goal. Back to Walker. Sasha says Foden can't afford to go missing today. James saying we will not lose. Do you think we'll win? Or do you think we're going to see a draw today? I can't believe it, man. I can't believe we're 1-0 down here. Again. I said it wasn't going to ruin my mood because of my son scoring 2 goals and getting man of the match today. But it's really... it's pissed on my mood a little bit, this. Must be honest, my mood has definitely changed. Foden's winning it back edge of the areas. He's in. Foden, good bit of play. Foden winning it back on the corner of the edge of Wolves' area. Stupid play from Ryan Aït-Nouri. And there you go, being silly with it on the ball. Foden nicks it off him. I think it's Totti who steps across. The third centre-back, Totti, steps across and gets involved. Good bit of play from Totti there, who stops Foden from getting really in on goal, forces him wide, but Foden wins the corner. City corner. Alvarez and Foden both standing above it. Foden's going to be an in-swinger. Alvarez going to be an out-swinger. Big M, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Corner ball. Taken short. Alvarez and Foden linking up. Foden dinks. It's a poor one. Near post, cleared. He's got to get some more air on that. There's nothing more frustrating than a corner or a cross that hits the first man. Doku. Really deep cross. Haaland. It's caught by Jose Sarr. Good bit of goalkeeping. How are we losing this game? Also, did you see the Barcelona charges? I did see the Barcelona charges. And it's a similar case. Well, it's not a similar case, but it's a similar outcome that they now have to wait for the truth to be found. And hopefully someone can find the truth in our situation. But they're doing their best, aren't they, to shit on Pep Guardiola's legacy. It seems to be like Pep Guardiola is so good that let's just ruin everything he's done in football and tarnish him to the best of their ability. We'll have to wait and see, because for me, I think, I hope they don't. I hope Pep Guardiola's Barcelona time doesn't get tarnished. Not as much as I hope this. Kovacic bringing it forward. Central, drilled, blocked by Dawson. Out to Doku, inside the area, on his right foot, chops onto his left foot, cross blocked. Foden, edge of the area. Cleared. It's all City so far. We're peppering their goal here. Nunez getting underneath it. Knocks it back to Doku. Doku's seen a lot of the ball. Foden inside. Penalty, referee. Foden comes down. No, not given. Walker. And here comes Wolves. Hwang bringing it down the left-hand side with speed as well. Akanji and Walker to beat. Slows it down. City have numbers back. I don't think it was a penalty on Foden, to be honest. I was just shouting because he went down, but it looked a bit soft in truth. I hope the Barcelona things get put to bed, just for Pep's sake. Doku intercepts brilliantly. Alvarez. They're sloppy Wolves here. We've got to be punishing them. Doku gives it away. That's 2 or 3 times Wolves have given it away, and we've not punished them. Ake's given away a free kick. Ake shows the face of a man who thinks he won the ball. Referee thinks otherwise. Palace 1-0 up against United. I don't even feel that bothered about that. It's so sad to think that, Back in the day, United going 1-0 down, I'd get up. If United, I'd be celebrating. Now, I don't care about them anymore. That's how insignificant they are. You know, they're not a threat to us. Like, when they become a threat, I'll take them seriously. But they're so insignificant, aren't they? Obviously, like, it's fun to laugh at. Like, ha, United are 1-0 down. And it is fun to laugh at. But it's the same old story, isn't it? Football Free Live dropping a link or a suggestion to where to go to there for anyone who's interested. Wolves with the free kick after Ake's foul. Totti knocking it back post. Pedro Neto underneath it. Nunez clears with his head. Doku gets underneath it, trying to bring it away, using his speed to do so. Forced wide, knocks it down the line brilliantly. Alvarez was caught on his heels. Could have been on his toes there. I don't think he was expecting Doku to win that, and he did. "40 mins will score. Please, we can't lose," says Siu Cree. Hopefully, mate. 33 minutes in. It's been a flash in the pan moment from Wolves, really. A bit. I wouldn't call it smash and grab, but almost. You know, it's been all City so far, and the one moment that they've looked like scoring, they've scored. Our final third play needs to improve, because that's the third time I've seen Doku give it away there. Doku again. He's getting a lot of chances. Fourth make it. He's just giving it away again. He's seen a lot of the ball, Doku, which is good. I mean, I have faith that he's going to beat his man and cause chaos. But there's your Jack Grealish difference in terms of keeping the ball and giving it away. You're going to get that with Doku. But he's beating his player. He is causing chaos at the same time. You know, there has been moments where he has got to the byline, crossed the ball, and City haven't been in the box. His delivery needs to improve. But there is a monumentous difference between Jack Grealish and Doku. Haaland, edge of the area. Nunez picks it up, poor ball, intercepted. Ryan Aït-Nouri intercepts Nunez's under-hit pass to Kyle Walker. Something is wrong with City, says Gamification. It does seem in the final third. We've got the control. There you go, another little attempted pass. It's almost like we're forcing it a little bit. We've gone against Newcastle, we showed a lot of patience. Today, there's no patience to our play. I understand that it might look slow, but being patient is quite important to the way we play, and there is no patience to our play. We're trying the difficult pass every time, which it's almost gone too far the other way, because against Newcastle, we were too patient in that first half. We didn't create enough. We kept the ball brilliantly, but we didn't create anything. Today, we're trying to create, but everything we're trying is just not coming off so far, and we're almost pushing that last pass to be... it's really difficult. Kovacic just then, moments ago, just trying to feed it right through the middle of Wolves' back line, through a swarm of gold shirts, and it was never going to come off. Never going to come off, and Haaland, it was intercepted. Long ball over the top. Semedo's in. Ake, good bit of play. Wint knocks it off Semedo as well. Got to be a goal kick. Yeah, goal kick. Good bit of play from Nathan Ake. But one long ball over the top, and our formation was exposed. Newcastle beating Burnley 1-0. Yeah, I agree, Hot Hits. I think we are going to do some business in January. And I think Qatar is on. Doku beating his man. Going up against Gomez. That's a free kick, referee. He just grabbed him and threw him to the floor. He's not giving it. I mean, Doku stood there, sat there now on the floor, like gobsmacked, literally jaw on the floor from Doku. Understandably so. Like, referee, what are you thinking, mate? He just had him round a headlock and he just threw him to the floor and ran away with the ball. There was James asking earlier in the chat, do you think refs are being harder on City to make things closer in the standings? I've always thought there's no way that referees come into games with a biased mentality. I've always thought that. I've always felt like they try their best. Even if, Anthony Taylor, he's apparently he's got United fans in the family and things like that. Your Wolves coming forward here. Neto, Diaz this time not into his own net, clears it. Doku bringing it forward. Are you going to give that one, ref? Oh, well done, mate. You spotted that one, did you? Good job. Jesus. But ever since, what's his face? Mike Dean, that interview where he said that he stuck up for his mate in VAR, where it was Cucurella against Spurs, had his hair pulled, and Mike Dean came out and said, I didn't send him to the monitor because I felt for him. That, to me, I was like, shit. Well, if he's saying that, then what are the other referees doing? If he's able to say that and come out with such an, it's discrediting referees at the end of the day. That is just, it makes the whole organisation of officiating referees a shambles, really. Saying that has just highlighted the inefficiency that is riddled in our game right now. And ever since that, I thought, who fucking cares anymore? Who knows? You know what I mean? James, in answer to your question, I don't know. It's worrying after that. But before that, I thought, surely not. Surely these are honourable guys that they might support other teams, but they enter the field and they referee to the best of their ability. They don't show any bias or favouritism or trying to even a game up. Who's the better team, trying to make it interesting. But I don't know anymore. Doku, left-hand side. Onto his left foot. Poor cross. Cleared. I'm pleased with how much Doku's getting the ball. He just needs to show a bit more end product there because he's not created anything yet. But he does look dangerous at the same time. Like, Wolves are panicking when he gets the ball. Referee's giving another free kick. Lamina, yellow card. Oh, referee. He's forgot there's two teams that can foul in this game. Nunez brought down by Lamina. That wasn't a yellow, but I think he kicked it away after he committed the foul. Did he? Yeah, he boots it away. Oh, no, he doesn't. Yes, he does. He kicks it away. There's your yellow card. Alvarez out to Doku. Come on, Jeremy. Onto his right foot. Ooh, he's tackled. Doku again. Shoots over the bar. Doku's had so much of the ball, but we need to see better from Jeremy Doku right now. Can Pep go in at half-time? I'm presuming he can go in at half-time, and talk to them in the dugout. Presumably it's not in the dugout, in the changing room. Presumably it's a dugout ban that he can't be on the sidelines, but at half-time he's allowed in because we need Pep Guardiola to go in there now and talk to him because he's in the stadium, so it's not like a stadium ban or anything. Jeff with the 2, thank you very much. Prediction 2.0 incoming. Haaland goal 20 minutes into the second half. There we have it. There we have it. Oh, you didn't say what half, did you, in your previous? You've analysed your previous prediction and you've amended it. You've revised your previous prediction. I'm seeing Neto's done some dive of some kind. Neto's been shot or something. His third yellow card, Big M. That was what I was asking against Newcastle. Here comes Neto. I'm about to see the dive, am I? Oh, you sack of shit. Is he giving it? He's giving it as well. I can see why you're complaining in the chat. What a load of shite, honestly. Nathan Ake just barely raises his arm. Neto's rolling around on the floor. He's lost an eyeball. He must have lost an eyeball to be moving like that. He connects with him there, Nathan Ake, using his strength. It went out for a throw-in, by the way. Where's the chronological order of events? The ball went out for a throw-in. So because it went out for a throw-in, the throw-in comes first. And then the foul is after. So it doesn't matter what happens after. The throw-in came first. The chronological order of events is what should be taken into consideration here. Bullshit. This is poor officiating. I saw a lot of City fans complaining about the officiating against... who Who was it? Forest. I don't think it was that bad, but this is poor from what I've seen so far. Really poor. He's whipped out a yellow card when it was never a yellow card, and Kyle Walker, and then 5 minutes later, Ryan Aït-Nouri brings down Kyle Walker, preventing a counter-attack. No yellow card. That there was just never a foul. Like, he'd already lost the ball at that point, and the instinctual thing to do is raise your arm, but he wasn't with any malice, with an elbow or anything. He just rose his arm, and Neto just felt like the faintest of touches on his neck and goes down. Joke. Michael White, good to see you in the chat. Bent, he says. We'll fight to the end, says Scott. What's going on? So there's another Wolves player going down. Honestly, sounds like Wolves and the refs are trying to rattle City players. Just need to keep their heads and show them all wrong on the pitch. Come on, City, let's get 3 now, says Big M. Arsenal are 2 up, says Jan. Yep. Odegaard penalty. Yeah, I think you're right, Big M. They are trying to rattle us. Jack, anyone noticed how Alvarez looks the spit of Giorgio King-Clancy? He does a little bit, doesn't he? Just a little bit. King-Clancy was an absolute class act. I met him quite a few times when I was a kid. I went to... Does anyone remember Kakabash Kadadzi? That's a name for the old boys. Anyone who can remember Kakabash Kadadzi? He was a centre-back. I went to school with his son, Bacho Shkadadze, and given his name, here comes Neto. Oh my God, Neto's in. Ake's really struggling against him. Back post, Akanji cleared, not edge of the area. Gomez out to Ryan Aït-Nouri. Hwang. Lamina. Semedo. Neto. He's the one, isn't he? God, we need to fix this Neto problem because he's the threat right now. It's not like Guardiola would do any better, in truth, because I think Nathan Ake is probably overhit out for a throw-in to City, thankfully. Ake's probably our best one-on-one defender. Oscar Bob can change this, says Gamification. Probably a bit early for Oscar Bob, but maybe. His performance against Newcastle filled me with confidence. It's so frustrating, isn't it? In fact, it's an own goal as well. Really, it's like... It doesn't feel like we should be 1-0 down here. But here we are. We look very leggy, which is a big worry considering what's coming, says Michael White. Yeah, it's not looking good. Says run it back, GG. It's only the final third that's bothering me. The controls there, the tactics are working. And I've always said Pep's tactics are built to get teams into the final third. Pep then, he's already stated that he holds his hands up and says, that's not my job to be meticulous with the final. Ake, whipped in. Nunes, saved. Didn't have a little dinked ball, right foot from Ake, crossed into Nunes. It was behind Nunes, who tried to get something on it, tried to get the back of his head on it, and it ends up just going straight through to Jose Sarr. But, yeah, Pep's tactics have always been to get teams into the final third, and he's openly said, I don't really get involved in the final third. When I'm in a training ground, I don't really tell Messi how to play football. He's not going to tell Erling Haaland how to score goals. He's not going to tell Jeremy Doku how to beat his fullback. That's not his job. But they're not doing their job today, and that's the problem. Here come Wolves. Hwang. One-on-one with Akanji into the area. Shot blocked by Akanji. Good play. Fouled. He's been booked, hasn't he? He's been booked. Hwang goes down. He's pretending he's invisible. Walker stayed down. Get him off, referee. That's got to be a second yellow card. City fans, City players surrounding the referee. He's not going to give it, is he? Of course he's not going to give it. As if he's going to give Wolves a red card in this game. There is no way. John, good to see you. They did, Jan. And I mentioned that in my preview. That first half against Wolves, against Liverpool, Wolves were brilliant. And I don't know how they didn't win that game 2 or 3-0, or were at least 2 or 3-0 up by half time. But they haven't played anywhere near that level. They've been nothing like that. They took the game to Liverpool. They were on the attack. Liverpool were pinned back. It was probably compounded by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Like, performance in that first half was atrocious. He was giving the ball away left, right and centre. We're not doing that. So we're not really giving Wolves opportunity to hit us on the break, or at least build up momentum. We are giving them opportunities to hit us on the break. But our control is good. It's just the final third. There's something disjointed. Oh, so disappointing. So disappointing. And this is going to breathe so much confidence into the other the Arsenals and Liverpools of this world, who are going to be looking at this game thinking City are going to win before the game. But come on, second half, I'm acting like we've lost. John with the 2, thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. We're struggling against Wolves. What the fuck? Nunez City flop. I don't think he's a City flop just yet, John, in truth. I think we need to give him a much bigger time frame to understand his game. I think he's been good so far in the season when we've seen the glimpses of him, but in this game, yeah, I think he's struggled to impress. Half-time. Bit disappointing, let's be honest. Let's be real about it. Just resetting the clock. 45 minutes. Haaland walking off a frustrated figure. He's had absolutely nothing. Not even crumbs to live off. Not even a morsel for Erling Haaland. The couple of moments where it's come into him. I mean, what have we had any shots on goal? The creativity is severely lacking, but the control is there. You know, and surely we can't just look at the situation and go, well, Kevin De Bruyne would be the answer. He would possibly create more chances, but one player can't just create that much creativity. Surely not. Surely not. It's all down to that, because Doku's getting the majority of the ball. So what you're telling me is if Kevin De Bruyne is the answer to creativity, then you're going to play Kevin De Bruyne on the left wing and get Doku off, because Doku's the one who's been receiving the ball all half. That whole first half, Doku was the main threat. His end product wasn't good enough. He was caught numerous times on the ball. He did beat his man, but then when he did beat his man, the cross was with his left foot. His weaker foot was intercepted or cleared. Again, Doku is in the same breath as Nunez and Kovacic. They've just started their Manchester City careers, so we need to give them time. But it's been a really poor first half, but truthfully, I believe we can turn this round. I'm going to try and get the first half stats up for you as best as I can, at least highlight the team rather than picking on individuals. 13 shots we've had. I don't remember that. Only 2 of them on target, which that's more of an indication that you're trying your luck outside of the area shots. That's not good, is it? But 70% possession, there's your control that I've been talking about. 315 passes to their 137, which is a surprise. So we've had 70% of possession, but only made just a bit more than double the amount of passes than they've had. Maybe we're not moving the ball quick enough. I think that could be an indication for the second half. 11 fouls to Wolves, 2 yellow cards to them and 1 to us. They should have more than... I mean, that Hwang was a second yellow card, but they never get given, do they? They never get given. Douglas Wright, you've sent me a stream. I'll see if I can dig it up, mate. But I'm not going to let it intercept too much of what I'm looking at right now. That was... it was Kovacic and Foden who gave the ball away in the middle. Well, it wasn't really Foden. It was Kovacic who kicked it against the heel of Foden. Thank you very much, Douglas. I'm going to have a look at it, by the way. I didn't thank you. But, yeah, half-time, really. Pep, if you're allowed in the changing room, I hope you are, mate. I hope you are, because we need you. Because things need to change. And, I mean, it's more of a momentum thing. I don't think it's a case of, right, we need to shift players about and move the chess pieces on the board. I think the team's set up okay. I don't think there's anything wrong because we've got the control. We are dictating the game. It's just when we get into that final third, it's just big lacks of quality, you know? Pedro Neto. I'm going to try your stream, Douglas, but I think I haven't got a VPN set up right now because I'm using an app, so I presumably need a VPN to get this to work. But if it doesn't work, never mind. I've got the game up, so apologies for anyone who wants to be as close to the action as possible, but I am a little bit further behind than most people. But yeah, if anyone in after this game throughout the week before, I will be able to do Champions League games, obviously. They'll be close to the action as possible. They'll be streamed via TNT Sports, and any game that's on Sky in the UK, same again. It's just these 3 o'clock kickoffs that are I'm going to be a bit delayed, unfortunately. We don't look like scoring for shit. Same as the Newcastle game, all the possession, I presume you mean, but we can't do anything, says Lorenzo. Ego, we need Oscar Bob on the right wing. Yeah, Foden has been anonymous. Absolutely anonymous so far. Lads, we sound like United fans calling our own players flops. Come on, we're better than that, says Jack. I agree, mate. Totally agree. Flop's a harsh word this early on especially the new players. I don't think we should be going too harsh on players that have just joined. Because I remember Rodri's first season. Even Bernardo Silva's first season was a bit like, yeah, it was okay. I remember so many people questioned the Mahrez signing. You know, he didn't really fit the bill for what we were going for in terms of possession-based football. And I think a lot of people questioned the signing of Mahrez when we first signed him. And he spent the first year at City being questioned. And I think he's answered those questions. Now, obviously, he's now in Saudi Arabia. But, I mean, really, we do need to be a little bit more patient. But it's the nature of football, isn't it? We are fickle, aren't we? We expect a lot. And I know it was Douglas who was mentioning in the previous, a couple of videos ago, who said the level of expectancy. And it was you, Douglas, who even said your own expectancy levels. Good self-awareness, Douglas. But your own expectancy levels feel too high. You're coming into games now expecting the game to be done and dusted by half-time, winning it 3-0. We should be winning 5-0, 4-0. And I'm predicting high scorelines quite often, especially against Wolves and, you know, your Burnleys and even West Ham possibly. You're expecting 3 or 4, really. But is that unrealistic? Because it's Premier League opposition at the end of the day. And I do think we need to be careful we don't put too much expectancy on the players. And we could become a toxic fan base with that mentality. And we need to be careful. We do. Didn't Wolves go 1-up against Liverpool? They did. It sounds like they can't see it out till the end. Says Jack. I agree. Hopefully, you're right. Again, hopefully that can happen. This smells of a 2-1 at best, though. It doesn't smell like a 3 or 4-1. City come out and just destroy Wolves in the second half. This smells like we need an early goal in the second half. And then something, a bit of magic maybe, to win the game towards the end of the game. It's got that feel to it. Because there's no chances being created. So what would you do? I mean, really, in the second half, I know Ego said bringing Oscar Bob on. I don't think there will actually be changes at the half-time for the second half. I don't think Pep, he doesn't really do that. But if you could pick someone off the bench, who would you go for, really? Where's the creativity on that bench? It's Oscar Bob, isn't it? We've got... let's have a look. Grealish. That's it, really, isn't it? Grealish is the experienced head that you could genuinely rely on, at least from an experience point of view. From a form point of view, I don't rely on him at all right now. I think his performance against Newcastle was probably the worst on the team. I think he was well below par. And I think Grealish would admit that. But could this be an opportunity for him to come on? Last season, if you're into this type of thing, he scored against Wolves, didn't he, at Molineux? Made it 1-0 in about 30 seconds, didn't he? Or in the first couple of minutes at least, I'm pretty sure. That was then followed by an Erling Haaland right foot shot outside of the box. I think he scuffed it, to be honest, but tucked it in that bottom corner. And then I think it was Foden in the second half to make it 3-1. In fact, I think we beat them 3-1 at our place as well. So it was 2-3-1 results against Wolves. But we could, if we do win, we could become the third team ever to win our first 7 games. The only other 2 teams that have done better than that were Chelsea in 05-06. They won their first 9 games of a Premier League season. And Liverpool in 19-20, as in 2019-2020 season, they won their first 8. So we've got a lot of work to do to try and get that 7 under our belts. And this is the first of 3 away games in a row, with RB Leipzig next midweek. I'll be doing a watch-along for anyone who's wondering. Come and join me for that. Nice and clean stream, no delays. That'll be nice for us. And then, of course, Arsenal, same again. Watch along for that. That'll be on Sky, so that'll be up to date. But really, I'm not sure what to do at halftime here. I can't see any changes that would genuinely make me think right now we have a better chance. I think bringing Grealish on, Doku has not been good enough end product-wise, but threat-wise, in terms of, it's hard to describe, like, he's beating his player. You just want to keep doing that, and eventually it's going to come off. If you keep beating your player, you like to think eventually one of these crosses is going to find their man. He's had 3 or 4 shots as well. Hopefully one of those shots will come off for Doku. You take Doku off and bring Jack Grealish, I think you're more feeding into the slow pedestrian play that we've been playing. We've been very slow already. Bringing Grealish on is surely only going to slow it down even further. We need to up the momentum, not slow it down. And Ego saying Oscar Bob, yeah, I think he's the only player that could speed things up, but I don't think he's the player for this game right now. I just think he's inexperienced. I mean, who for, really? Foden is probably the only one, and are you going to take Foden off? Because I think Foden's had a poor first half, but it doesn't mean he couldn't have a good second half. 2 shots on target, you're absolutely right. Sub 2. So what was the Premier League scores? Arsenal are still 2 up. Luton beating Everton away. Jesus. United losing to Palace. Hardy har har. Newcastle 1, Burnley 0. Almiron. West Ham 2, Sheffield United 0. Sheffield United, crap, aren't they? Really gone to pot. Yeah, 70 possession from City is just, there's your giveaway, isn't it? There's the control. It's just, we need more. Create, like, actually breaking down their defence. Severely lacking. The number of passes isn't that good. I know it's with a lot more than them, but we're normally a bit more than that. Certainly with 70% possession, you're expecting to get closer to 400 there. I might be being a bit picky here, nitpicking and at things, but
they've done an amazing job at being resolute in the heart of the pitch. You've got the counter-attacking goal.
whoever messaged VIP box in the chat, I'm using your stream now, that's working. Oscar Bob's coming on. Hey, Ego, you called it, mate. Well played. Well played, lad.
And it's Mateus Nunes who has gone off, which
Mateus Nunes
are
off.
delighted about because they can cheer the substitution, but probably slightly devastated about because they'll miss booing him in the way they did in the first half. And we're back underway at Molineux. A big 45 minutes for both sides. City will need to up their game from that rather tepid first half.
Second half underway.
Dominated the possession,
Just,
but
there we go.
struggled to find a way through. And Wolves had the big challenge of trying to maintain the intensity and the momentum. Just as they struggled to do.
What a
against
waste of
Liverpool
money
after an excellent
the
first half.
Wolves fans are singing for
But
Nunes.
then there was the small matter of Liverpool being able
Was it
to
you,
bring
Gamification, who
world-class
said Bob
players
on?
off the bench.
I don't know. I think
City
maybe
have
if you
Jack
did,
Grealish
fair
on the
play,
bench
mate.
should they require
You can
him.
hear the commentary.
Pep
Shit.
Guardiola today, although banned from the touchline, has decided it's young Oscar Bob
Can you hear it now?
to come on.
Gonna get done for that. Yeah, now I can't hear the commentary. Doesn't matter anyway. You don't need. I don't need the commentary. The
Well, Mario
person
Lemina
was talking bollocks anyway.
has conceded a
But
free kick here.
can you hear the commentary?
Yeah, Foden just gets the ball away.
Can you now hear it?
Lemina
Let me know if
arrives.
you can hear it now, because if you can, I'm gonna get done.
There's a foul, even though Mario Lemina's not
You
too
can
happy
hear
with
it.
Got to be careful because he is on that yellow card.
Taken by Alvarez
How about now?
into the
Can you
danger
hear it?
area. Kilman was there. He got the vital header on the ball to
That's
put it
not
out
good.
for a corner to City.
Yeah, it's an excellent cross in from Alvarez, and Max Kilman had to be
How about now?
his absolute best there.
Sorry, guys.
Terrific
Really
header
letting you
from the
down
Wolves
here.
skipper.
We could hear the commentary of the game. Sorry. Can you hear it now? What a nightmare I'm having.
Foden.
Corner to City, by the way, if anyone's
Dawson
wondering. What a
with the header this
disaster.
time.
Can you still hear it? Yeah.
Not
No?
what he intended.
It's
He can
louder.
still find Haaland. He does well to
You can still hear it? Right, I'm
move
going to have to
down
knock it on the
for
head
Ruben Diaz.
and go with the delayed one. Or
And let's see what the substitution can find in the second half as Foden not given too much space as Hwang with the hard work. Now he needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card. There are a few players who need to be really careful in the second half.
oh, sorry, guys.
Craig Pawson has let a lot go so far.
Well, at least you're getting free
This
commentary
afternoon.
anyway. I'm probably going to
All
get
these ones are
demonetised
just
for
a little
this,
bit
but
late.
never mind.
Going to set the benchmark of what he's going to give a yellow card for.
Can you hear it now?
Both Mario Lemina and Hwang Hee-chan on yellow cards.
If I, do, I might just knock it on there.
Can
In which
ill
case, we're going to be
afford any
really
ill
far
discipline in the
behind.
second
But
period.
yeah,
There's a foul, even though Mario Lemina's not too happy.
bear with me one sec.
Got to be careful because he is on that yellow card.
Yeah, I've knocked it on the head. Should have gone. Yeah, I've gone to the old stream.
Into the danger area. Kilman was there. He got the vital header.
Sorry about that. So we are. This is what happens when you
Cross in from Alvarez, and Max
try and dodge it.
his absolute best there. Terrific header from the Wolves.
So we're on 47th minute, and that's where I'm up to. I've turned it off. There was a stream that was really decent and clear audio as well. Clear for you guys, corner to City. So I'm like on the 47th minute now, so I'm far behind where I was. Jeremy Docky with a volley that was atrocious. All the way up into the moon. Went to space, that. Presumably you can't hear it now because I've turned that stream off. Cole Palmer or Oscar Bob, says Jack. It's hard to say, really, mate. Jeff. Mate, Jeff, if you do that, we'll talk about it, because obviously if you can do that and I can get onto a browser for future streams, I'll be up to date. And I'm happy to pay half of your bill for your Peacock. Whatever you're paying for Peacock, mate, I'm happy to send you some money. We'll set up a standing order or something like that. I'm not going to freeload off you, mate. I don't expect to take your money. You've sent me enough super chats, mate. That's the absolute least I could do is pay half of your Peacock bill, mate. So if you could do that, yeah, that'd be incredible, because that would sort me right out. I'll set up a VPN, put myself in the USA. But yeah, game on again. Sorry about that, guys. I do apologise. So far, it's been the same, really, in terms of the pattern of play. A lot of control from City. Not much creation. I'm interested in to see what Oscar Bob, who is playing central right now, going. So Foden stays on the pitch, therefore must be staying out on the right, which I'm pleased about in a way. Ruben Diaz shot well over the bar. Find it in the about section. I'll stick it on here to make it easy. There you go. Jeff, you're a legend, mate, if you could do that. But 49 minutes in. Well, we're not really, are we? We're 53 minutes in. But I'm 49 minutes in. Hopefully we can turn this round, because so far it's been a bit of a mirror image of the first half. And the very small little window we've been given to watch City in the second half. But not much chance creation. Oscar Bob's involvement. You're wondering what Pep's plan is for the second half here. Wolves bringing it forward. Oscar looks more exciting, I think, says Jack. Need to see him on the ball at the minute. We're not around that much of the ball, really. Control in the minute, it's Wolves. Neto bringing it forward. Nathan Ake to beat. Crossed in. Edison steps across. Good goalkeeping. Really good goalkeeping. Yeah, big up, Jeff. Lots of love for Jeff in the chat. As usual, Jeff, you're the hero of the chat. Doku bringing it forward. Knocks it back in very Grealish fashion to Kovacic. Foden. Into Oscar Bob, edge of the area, tucked into Haaland. Haaland! Oh, he just couldn't connect with it. A good little bit of play from Oscar Bob, threatening from Oscar Bob. Knocks it into the channel, into the path of Erling Haaland, who couldn't quite hook it with any power. He gets a touch on it, gets his shot on goal, but whiffs it, really. I think you're right, Michael. He's not had his greatest game. I'm a big Nathan Ake fan, but Neto has been really tough for Ake to deal with so far. And 51 minutes in, you're thinking you should be get it back to 1-1 at this point, but it only takes a second to score a goal, as they say. But don't even look like scoring at the minute. Wolves having a lot of the ball as well. Cheers, Jeff. I won't be able to set that up now, mate, but because I need to get a VPN set up. But I will be doing that midweek. And in future, hopefully, those of you who've stuck around, thank you very much, because it's not been the most professional stream, to be honest. Like, minutes changing, but you guys sticking with me is fantastic. Thankfully, you're not missing the game of your life, because it's been a shit game, a shit stream, and it's 1-0 Wolves. Cheers, Jan. Cheers for the 3. Much appreciated. Thank you very much, Jan. Really appreciate that. Neto versus Oscar Bob. And doing a good job. Helping Nathan Ake, which is very much needed at the minute, which is something I've not really said. Normally, Nathan Ake's the master of one-on-ones. He's so quick, isn't he? Really low centre of gravity. There's Jack Grealish warming up.
I think he gave a foul against Semedo. Looked like Semedo was trying to pin Ake so he couldn't come out and get towards Pedro Neto.
Oh, it has gone to shit, but
Looked like Semedo was trying to pin Ake so he couldn't come. Test did the first bit ever so well. He was direct, he cut straight back across.
see, I've got 2 streams that I can click on here. That I've got 2 options for me. One is very far ahead but really choppy and keeps freezing, and the other one is really far behind but is more consistent. So, I don't know. Shots. Oh, Alvarez, edge of the area. Good effort, mind you. But first, anything, really. First bit of sign from anything from City. Wolves player down on the floor, is it? Mateus Cunha sat on the floor looking at his boot. Angrily. Diaz brought him down. Looks in pain, to be honest. Were you really? I think I remember actually with that. I know you've been around pretty much since early days, but 9 followers gamification. Fair play, mate. Much appreciated for sticking in. Do you know what the hardest thing is to get off the ground, isn't it? As doing anything in life really is getting started, and it takes people like yourself, gamification, to subscribe to a channel when you see that the channel's got like what, in your case, 8 subscribers, and you made it number 9. You know, that's how it goes. You know, that's what it's huge for helping me. You know. And it's not easy because you do take, when you see a channel with 10,000 subscribers, 20,000, a million subscribers, you're like, oh, they must be good because everyone else thinks so. But with 8, you think, ah, must be nobody. Thanks very much, mate. Ruben Diaz. Foden. Ake bringing it forward. Got to create something now. Doku, left-hand side. Into Oscar Bob. Back to Kovacic. Giving away. Kovacic. Cunha bringing it forward. One-on-one with Ruben Diaz. Akanji steps across, asking for a foul. Cunha has what looks to be an epileptic fit because the referee has not given a foul. And here comes Ruben Diaz. Referees decided to give City the... and to be honest, that was never a foul. Akanji did well. Ruben Diaz. Walker. Right-hand side. Kovacic. Ruben Diaz. Ake. Oscar Bob. Brought down. Edge of the area. No foul. Foul. Free kick, City. Come on, Blues. We love Spider-Man, says Tuna. I'm seeing a lot of positivity in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of positivity in the chat. Get in, says. Yes, I'll yeah, section 20. I'm going to be happy in about 20 minutes. Yeah. So Alvarez has scored, has he? Is it a free kick? No way. Buzzing.
Closest on the stroke of half time, and a free kick was curled right onto the head of Ruben Diaz. He couldn't find the angle that time. Straight into the.
I wonder what happens here.
What about this time? It's the same two players.
For those people who clip me up, I'm going to be like, I'm telling you right now, Alvarez is going to score. He's going to score. Alvarez, he's scored. Oh, how did I guess that? How did I guess that? Superb guesswork by me. Fantastic goal by Manchester City. And I mean, pat on the back for me for guessing it. Well done, me. Brilliant work by me. Yeah, well done, guys. Alvarez, fucking brilliant goal, by the way. Jesus Christ, what a finish. Lovely, lovely free kick. Yeah, stick your predictions up your arse, Jeff. Joking, mate. What a goal, by the way. Could Jose Sarr save that, looking at that? No. Let's have a look at that again a bit. No, it's past him before he gets there, isn't it? Brilliant. Brilliant. Lovely, lovely goal from Julian Alvarez. We're back in the game, Blues. The stream feels a bit more positive vibes now. You're changing your Peacock password. Yeah, mate. Jeff, you're a legend, mate. Honestly, if you sort me out for the future streams, hero. I'm going to go to the other stream now because I want to keep up with you guys. It's pointless you even watching me. It's just a bit more temperamental. So now I'm on 61 minutes in the game. Is it worth changing the time? I just ignore the fucking clock. The clock's pointless in this game right now. City bringing it forward. Foden underneath it. Bobbling around the area. Totti looks like he's bringing it away. Is he bringing it away? Just about. Alvarez. City look fierce all of a sudden. Look angry. Getting stuck in a little bit better. Free kick, mind you, but still. Attitude looks good. Thank you very much, Marie. 187 in the building so far. If we can bump the likes up. If you could pop a like on the stream, that would be big, big, big help. Thank you very much. You can hear the commentary again. Can you actually hear the commentary again? I'm trying to turn it down, but... Yeah, I'm not in this... Right now, I'm certainly not in the YouTube game for the money anyway, to be honest. I'm in it for trying to grow a little bit. Obviously, there is money involved in YouTube. I understand that, but right now, it's not the aim. The aim's to grow a fan base, so this is definitely getting demonetized, and I'm not that bothered. I'd rather have a good stream, but you can hear the commentary. Again. Right, in that case, that has to have worked. Surely, has that worked? Too busy pissing about with this, trying to get it working rather than focusing on the game. City bringing it forward. Oscar Bob, miscontrol. Poor ball from him from Doku, to be honest. But in steps Kovacic. Really crunching tackles coming in there. There you go. Good. Commentary's gone. Right. Oh, no. Nato's in. Good play from Akanji. Really good. Good bit of defensive work from Akanji. Ake's having a bad game. Not a bad game, but he's struggling. I think that's being polite now. He is struggling going up against Neto. But Neto's no mug, is he? He's a really good player. I mean, is he good enough for City? So far, he looks really good. Doku bursting into the area. Left foot blocked. Corner ball to City. Pep promised to bench a few players for the next game if they don't perform right now. Says Gift. Good to see you, Gift. I think there is Núñez didn't have the greatest game, so what are you going to do against Arsenal now? Here comes Kalvin Phillips. Here he is. You know, the game's not won either, and you're bringing on Kalvin Phillips. That's interesting. Very interesting. Kovacic off. Foden, short corner. Alvarez dinks it. Back post. Oh. Edge of the area. Oscar Bog dinks it. Back post. Foden in. He's got... Oh, off the line. Oh, you're just looking at the ref at that point, aren't you? You're thinking he's going to look at his watch and go goal, but no goal. Come on, it's coming. It's coming. Akanji having a shot. Edge of the... Oh, Akanji. Good save by Jose Sarr. Phillips to get the winner now, says Section 22. Mate, I would love that. I would absolutely love it. There's loads of things I've done on my streams previously, by the way, that I've noticed that they haven't gone unnoticed, put it that way. There's a little stutter on my camera. I'm going to fix that. I've got a plan for it. There was a delay. Oh, fucking hell. Wolves crossing the ball. Oh, they're in. Wolves. They're in the edge of the area. It's going to be a goal. It is a goal. 2-1 Wolves. Shambolic defending in truth. He's got to deal with the cross. What's gone on here? It's really basic stuff as well. It's like, well, first time they've really come forward in this second half, and it's 2-1. I can't believe it. How you just fully... It's well onside there. Semedo bringing it forward. Hopeful cross, deflected. Akanji heads it clear, comes out. Diaz gets the block. Lucky ricochet. Just wasn't completely dealt with, was it? I'm trying to find a fault with the goal, really, and it's like Akanji's header was... You can't really do much from that. Diaz has just had rotten luck with deflections today. Rotten luck from Ruben Diaz, because he gets the blocking. You can't expect Ruben Diaz to do anything more than what he does. Gets the blocking, but it lands very kindly to Mateus Cunha, who knocks it wisely to Hwang. Intelligent play from Cunha, knocks it, and then Hwang's got, I say, an open net. It was only Kyle Walker who's trying to head it off the line. Can't do anything about that. Shit. What I was saying before Wolves scored. Unbelievable, this. But, yeah, those of you that there was a delay a couple of streams ago, there's a stutter in my camera that happens every now and again. I'm going to fix that. And the delay that happened a couple of streams ago where my mouth was opening and the voice was coming later, I also know what went wrong there. But tell me, guys, tell me, and I'll try and fix it. I think you're right, Douglas. It was just a bit unfortunate, really, wasn't it? United fan. City crumbling against Wolves. I thought they were doing the 4-peat. How many games have we played? He's 7 games into the season and he's giving it large. Meanwhile, what are you doing against Crystal Palace? Like, those in glass houses, my friend, should not be throwing stones. Walker crossed in to nobody all the way across. Doku picks it up, prevents it from going out for a throw-in. 22 minutes to go, whipped in. This is going to require a huge bit of intensity now from City because we need to turn this game round. Kalvin Phillips tracking back. Not good, Ryan, to be honest. Ryan's just got home from golf and missed the game. How have we played? Not good, really. Let's be honest. I think there's been a good element of control to our game, but that's kind of a given now, isn't it? You expect that from City. We had the same amount of control against Newcastle, and we lost that game. Here we are. Same amount of control. Possession-wise, plenty of it. We're losing the game again. What was it? The last 14 games without Rodri. We've lost 4 of them. We could be about to make it 5 in 15 games without Rodri. Which is a damning stat for how important he is. Foden bringing it forward. Walker tucks it back to Oscar Barb, who leaves it. Oh, nice little touch from him. And you see what he's trying there, knocking it into Foden's path. "4-1 Wolves," Shanty's predicting. You're a ray of sunshine, aren't you? NP, one Sog and they score. Sog shot, I presume you mean. "We have tons of chances and piss about." We haven't had that many chances though, have we? Really? I mean, even our goal was a free kick, which is a, you know, they're not really chances, free kicks, are they? You know, they're half-hearted chances. "Bring Guardiola on," says Sol Kingbrook. What you thinking? What's you thinking behind that, mate? We need a goal. Jack Lee, shit defending, I'm afraid. There is still plenty of time, mate. There is. But, yeah, I don't know. There was that little 5 minutes against Newcastle. At the end of the game against Newcastle, it was like, oh, yeah, we're losing 1-0. Should we try and win the game? And it ended up manufacturing that Rico Lewis shot on the edge of the area that went just past the post. But by that point, it's like, it's too late. You can't just switch it on in the final 5 minutes and hope that you can manufacture chances. Because this possession-based football isn't working. I mean, normally it does, but it's not creating chances, clear-cut chances, and teams that are sitting in front of the edge of the area and having a deep, low block. Ake crossed into Jose Sar's hands. Yeah, there's not enough creativity. It's all good and well having the ball, but you don't score without creating chances. And there's something fundamentally wrong with us in the final third at the minute. One thing we've not done much of is lure teams out. A lot of our tactics when we have a low block, we try and tempt teams out a lot more, don't we? There's that Dawson chance cleared off the line, because that would have been 2-1 City, and all of a sudden it's 2-1 Wolves. Soul King, best player in the world in his position, he is. Yeah, he's not the best player in the world, full stop, Rodri. But in his position, he absolutely is. I think he's the best defensive midfielder in the world right now. I can't name me a defensive midfielder that's better than Rodri right now. There isn't one. I mean, Casemiro's an embarrassing debate now. I think he's nowhere near that level. You think he's full stop the best player in the world? Fair enough, mate. I don't think he is, but it depends what you want from the game, isn't it? Because it's like you're never gonna say a goalkeeper's the best player in the world, are you? No one's ever gonna say that. You're gonna say he's the best goalkeeper in the world. And as a defender, you're never going to say a defender is the best player in the world, because they're defenders. And it's like most people tend to gravitate towards the front end of the pitch when they're picking their favourite players or the best players in the world, don't they? They tend to pick the glamorous players that score goals and get assists and that type of football. But fair play for picking Rodri. I agree, he's an incredible player. But Buffon was the best player in the world in 2006, so you're sticking to your guns, mate. Early days in the season, I'm not worried, says Ryan. No, me neither. By now, we'd have already lost a game by now, normally. This is late for us to lose a game 7 games in. Or maybe not lost, but that second game of the season, away to Newcastle, last season when we drew 3-3. It was a similar sort of performance, really. Like, it was just a bit lackluster and going up against a team that had the grit bit between their teeth. Nobert had to score when Kalvin came on. Yeah, I mean, that chance that was cleared off the line, I mean, it's through no fault of Kalvin Phillips why we're 2-1 down, to be honest. It's absolutely not, but I imagine it is. Here's Kalvin Phillips, edge of the area, shot. Oh, just past the post from Kalvin Phillips. Not a bad effort. Tries to deceive the keeper. He shapes his body like he's going for the far top right-hand corner, but instead he whips it bottom left. Just got a bit too much whip on it. Yeah, it's not close, to be honest. It was a good 3 or 4 yards past the post, but intentions was good. Yeah, I agree, Jan. Normally we are struggling behind. The issue's Liverpool, isn't it? Now you're looking at 5:30. I presume everyone's going to go and rush away to watch that Liverpool-Spurs game after this. You're hoping for a draw, really, or a Spurs win. Spurs win or draw, they're the two favourable results for City fans right now. Because Spurs dropping points last weekend against Arsenal was perfect. It was like, oh, it was delicious, wasn't it? It was like, it doesn't get any better than that. Especially after we win. But now it's like, oh, we're watching that game and Liverpool could go top of the league. And Liverpool top of the league, it's a dangerous animal you're going up against over the course of the season. They're not a team that I want to be. They know how to win it, the league, don't they? They're a team that we've gone toe-to-toe with 2 or 3 times. And you're going to see a side to me that a lot of you have not seen because I hate Liverpool. I hate them. You know, I really do. Passionately. So you're gonna, when we play Liverpool, if we're in a title race with Liverpool, you're going to see a different side to me. I'm going to struggle to keep my emotions in check. I really am. Doku, Nathan Ake, what are we? 14 minutes to go, and we've not even created anything since they've scored. Nothing. Wolves, they've got 2 players on the edge of their 6-yard box right now. Nothing. Nothing. Kyle Walker, foul. Free kick, dangerous area. We need to get a goal and at least try and get it in before the 80th minute. If we can get a goal before the 80th minute or early 80s, game on. We can win this game. But this is dragging and the chances are just not there for us at all, are they? They're not showing their faces at all. Haaland, he's had absolutely nothing to live off today. You're going to be fuming coming away from this game if you're Erling Haaland because you're like, where were the crosses, boys? Whipped in. Back post. Hands of Jose Sarr. Easy cross to deal with. Hwang shouldn't be on the pitch, says Scott. That's a very good point, mate. I really think it was a second yellow card. I mean, put it this way. If he hadn't been booked, he'd have been booked for that. Here comes Jack Grealish. And that makes no sense. They do, Timmy. Liverpool know how to lose it. I've never known a side in my life or a club, I'm talking about Liverpool, celebrate second place quite as much as they did. You know what I mean? Finishing with 98 points when they did and we got 99 points. They even argued, they sent petitions out for getting medals for finishing second, you know, because they hadn't won the league ever, the Premier League at that point. They'd never won it. So they were like, I can't believe we've got 98 points and we still didn't win the league. That alone as a fact is hilarious. The second fact to that is that they made a petition to get medals for second place medals, which is the cringiest low, like, it's like, come on, there's no prize for second place. There is no prize. And yet they won it. I'd like to see Johnny rage, says Gamification Mate. No one wants to see that. Ake, cross comes in from a free kick. Ake with the header. Clipped off the back of a Wolves player, but referee gives a goal kick. Missing Sterling right now, says Little Fruity. I mean, Doku's... I didn't feel bad when Sterling left. I really didn't. Grealish is on. Nathan Ake is off. What are we going to do with Jeremy Doku? I don't feel panicked about losing this game. I'm going to be honest. I don't feel panicked. I feel gutted about the individual performance. I just feel it was inevitable that we were going to do something a little bit daft at this stage of the season, because we always do. We always do at this stage. We're finding our feet, and to be 6 games in with 6 wins to our name, that surprises me more than losing this game. The 6-game winning streak is more of a surprise to me than losing this. I genuinely believe that. And now it's almost like, I don't want to make too many excuses, that it's like, is this the spark that they needed? The shock to the system, the reminder of what's required to win a Premier League title? There is no cruise control in Premier League. You can't hit the cruise control button. You can't do it. You can't go through the motions and win the Premier League. You need these reminders every now and again. And we're receiving it. We're receiving it. So hopefully we can get back. Arsenal game is the problem, isn't it? We're going to be going into that Arsenal game now out of form, effectively. Out of form. If we don't win this, we've lost 2 in a row. We've got RB Leipzig in the weekend. If we don't win that, we could have... Fucking hell. We're going well out of form into the Arsenal game. But who's to say City won't go there and beat them, you know? This lot puts a lot more pressure on the Arsenal game next weekend. It absolutely does. I still feel like we can get a draw out of this. Foden, bringing it forward into the area. Doku, intercept. He's had a poor game, Doku. I'm not going to... We can't sugarcoat it. We're pretending. We all love Doku because he's different. He's exciting. He's been poor. His end product has been pretty anonymous. Nothing has worked for him today, but there's no discrediting his effort. He's always been in the right positions to receive the ball. His wing play and beating a player has been good. He has beaten plenty of Wolves players, but it's just that delivery. It's just nothing has come off. Hwang has got... He's gone... Oh, give over, referee. He's gone down with cramp. Doku's pushing him off the pitch. Yeah, well done, Doku. That's what I like to see. Push him off the pitch. Walker's pulling Cunha away. It's kicking off. It's kicking off. Heart rates raising. Wolves players kicking off. Doku pushing him off the pitch. He's gone off with cramp. The referee stopped the game for cramp. Bollocks, referee. Doku's trying to roll him off. I understand what Doku's doing, but you're going to get kicked off on when that happens. You know, Jose Sarr's rushed out of his net. He's received a yellow card. Wolves are... Shit. The last time Wolves, just doing a little bit of homework there, the last time Wolves beat us was when they did the double over us in the 2019-2020 season. Shot from Walker, saved by Jose Sarr. Good effort, but bit central, to be honest. And so the last time Wolves beat us was when they did the double over us in 2019-2020, and that was the season Liverpool won the league. So if you believe in that type of crap, this doesn't bode well, does it? No, I agree. Yeah, good point, Sol Kingbrook. Don't want to be getting another red card. It's the last thing we need right now is another player missing, because Kevin De Bruyne's absence, Bernardo Silva's absence. I think John Stones' absence has been huge. And to have gotten to this stage of the season with seemingly 6 wins out of 7 so far is good, you know, with the considering the players we're missing. John Stones back for Arsenal could be big. That could be really big. Would you take a point at this point? Really, you would, wouldn't you? I'd take a point. It's just a case of come on Spurs later, isn't it now? Arsenal 3-0 up. West Ham 2-0 up. Jack Grealish dispossessed on the left side. Here come Wolves, given away, thankfully. 2-0 Newcastle. Palace beating United 1-0. So, yeah, if Liverpool win, they go top. unless we can draw, if we can get a point out of this game, then it requires a goal swing, a goal difference swing, which could keep us top. A point keeps us top, effectively, unless Liverpool go and beat Spurs like 3-0. Akanji whipped in, headed away, 85 minutes gone. Diaz knocking it out to Doku, who's out on the right wing now. Kyle Walker switches it poorly, very poorly, cleared by Semedo easily. What was that? Really poor. Grealish, get underneath it. Oscar Bob trying to show himself. Brilliant from Oscar Bob. Keeps it in play, but Wolves had to. His momentum took him off the pitch, but he kept the ball on. Down the line to Neto. Akanji's on him. Out for a throw in. Wolves throw. Worrying. Haaland is anonymous, says Vladis, and that's through no fault of his own. No fault of his own. It's so deep. The Wolves defence has been. On come Fabio Silva, and Johnny is coming on. What stupid name he's got. Yeah, Haaland. It's not really Haaland's fault. Yeah, Sol Kingbrook backing me up there. I think he's right. I agree, Vladis. He has been anonymous, but it really isn't his fault. I think the team needs to have another rethink in the approach to this game has been. It's been slow, and Pep not being on the touchline. I'm making excuses here. But really, it's just been sloppy. Here come Wolves. Are they going to make it 3? Neto. Plenty of City shirts back, but that's not stopped Wolves scoring before, has it? I do think the second goal was unlucky, and I think the Ruben Diaz goal was unlucky as well. I mean, that could have gone anywhere. An own goal like that, it's just the momentum of play that happened before it. Haaland chasing Jose Sarr down, but he's booted it out. 4 minutes to go. You can ignore my clock, by the way. It's totally out of sync. Stuart Williams, good to see you. If Liverpool lose, I would laugh. And I will be laughing with you, my friend. Doku out on the right. Beats his second player. Bursting into the penalty area. Doku inside. Haaland, edge of the area. Oh, he got to shoot there, Haaland, mate. That's first sign of any sign of having a chance. And he tried a little pass to Oscar Bob, and to be honest, the intention was okay, but really, if you're Erling Haaland, edge of the area, with time to take a touch, your second touch should be a shot. Doku, inside, he's overhit it. It's good play from Doku, it's just the end product. He beats about 2 or 3 players, working his way in, squirming past Wolves players, and the little pass down the inside channel, overhit straight to Jose Sarr. This is really frustrating game. Really frustrating. Sub 2. 6, 7. What are you asking there, mate? Ruben Diaz into Foden. Foden's been anonymous as well. I mean, who's played well? Alvarez's free kick was brilliant, but I mean, what's he done outside of that? It was like, really, he's been fantastic free kick, like unbelievable free kick, great goal. But what's his involvement been other than that? I think Doku's been the most involved player, but his end product's been lacking. And I actually don't want to criticise that too much because I like the fact that he's doing something. It's better than, at least he looks a potential threat. Yeah, the end product's not great. But at least he's showing himself and trying to beat a player, do something, grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Here he is again. Jeremy Doku. He tries it, beats Oscar Bob. Into Oscar Bob, back to Kyle Walker. A few minutes to go in the United game and they are throwing Donny VB and Maguire on. That's how you win a game, isn't it? Get Maguire on. What are they doing at that club? Hey! Shit day for City fans, at least we're not United. Just remind yourselves, at least you're not United. Jack Grealish, left wing. Shite. Really poor. Sorry, that's just not good enough, man. It didn't even look like he was going to be. He didn't believe in himself. Goal kick as well. Everton are still losing to Luton. Yeah, that's embarrassing. That Luton have been the whipping boys of the Premier League. Jack's got to do more there. It was too predictable. Too predictable. Douglas. When you start a sentence with luck, I sense some rationality coming. So let's carry on the sentence, shall we, Douglas? Look, we have been the better team. Build-up has been okay. We haven't created enough. They got lucky with deflections. I believe there's some sense to what you're saying there, mate, but I do believe we need to look at ourselves a little bit more in this game. Certainly in the final third, it's not been good enough. Chance creation, not great. Kalvin Phillips, back post to Haaland. Oh, it's a good ball to him, to be honest, and Haaland cleared it almost. Get Summerby on, says Tuna. Which one? Mike or Nicky? Six minutes of injury time. Sorry about the clock, by the way. It's totally out of sync. But there is 6 minutes of injury time, of which the stream I'm watching is 45 seconds into that so far. If this holds, City lost to Wolves on the first day of my honeymoon and now my son's birthday. Oh, Jeff, mate, I feel for you. I feel for you. After this stream, I'm going to go and speak to my son, who's top of the world right now, because he's scored. For anyone who's new to the stream, you've probably heard it if you were here at the start of the stream. But, yeah, my son scored 2 goals today. Man of the match performance, so I'm buzzing for him. But I was buzzing for your son's birthday, mate, but it's kind of been tarnished, hasn't it? Don't let it ruin his day, mate. Go and give him some extra slice of cake or whatever is needed. Get Mike Summerby on, says Tuna. Big M. Jeff doesn't deserve this. He absolutely doesn't. I'd snap your hands off for a draw now, wouldn't you? I'd take a 2-2. I really would. I really would. 229 in the building. That's great. Thank you for joining me. If you could pop a like on the stream now or on your way out, whenever suits you, that would be so helpful. Really would. If Liverpool win today, I think they win the league. Hot hits, mate. That's preemptive. Really, I understand you're worried. I feel it, and myself, because Liverpool do worry me. They are a dangerous opposition. It's just Klopp, isn't it? And they've got the foundations for a title-winning team. They've fixed their midfield. So Bosley coming in, that's a major introduction. What's his face? McAllister coming in. With Fabinho and Henderson leaving, that was good news. And they were worried about that. That was good news, because I think those two were really showing that like Henderson with showing his age and Fabinho showing his inconsistency last season. They've fixed their midfield. They've got an out-and-out world-class goal scorer in Mo Salah. Darwin Núñez is starting to look a genuine threat. The issue for Liverpool is their defence. Their defence is going to cost them this season. I really think they're not as solid as at the back as we are. I know today is a poor reflection on our defence, conceding 2 away to Wolves. Here comes Jack Grealish. Edge of the area. Kalvin Phillips! Oh, he's over the bar. Deflected over the bar. Just imagine. Just imagine if Kalvin Phillips had scored. Do you know what? It was a good effort as well. It was deflected. Buzz for a Kalvin Phillips goal. Foden corner. 94th minute. Whipped in. Over everybody's head. Gets to Doku. Picks up the loose pieces. Corner of the edge of the area. Doku onto his left foot. Deflected into Jose Sarr's hands. And he's going to chill with this, isn't he? All day long. Andy Scott. Nobody wins titles or cups in September. Unless you're Arsenal. A very good point. The good news is having another team in the title race is actually good news for City. if you think about it logically, over the course of the season, if Arsenal and Liverpool, and we have a 3-horse race, because lately it's rarely been a 3-horse race, it's always been a 2-horse race. And a 3-horse race means teams eat each other, they take points off each other, and they've not just got City to worry about, which is brilliant. Because we only ever focus on ourselves. We never focus on opposition. Arsenal focused on us. All their thoughts and processes that they were going through was, what are City doing? What are City doing? Hang on a minute. Jack Grealish, down the line to Akanji, turns, byline, cross is blocked. Jack Grealish, again, trying to pick it up. But, yeah, I think a 4-horse race with Spurs, Timmy's suggesting. That bodes well for us because we don't look at everyone else. We have. When you say horses, it's the perfect analogy. Is those little Akanji whipped in, cleared. The perfect analogy for a horse is those little blinders that they wear, so they can't see what's either side of them. That's City, focused. The finish line is all we look at. We don't look at the other horses. We don't look at them. You know, we wear our blinders. Other horses, their riders, they take them off. They look at them. They look at what City are doing most predominantly. City is the focus, and if you ask anyone who's going to win the league, it's a case of if you finish above City, you win the league, which is probably a very true statement to make, but just an indication of how much focus is on us. And we do not want to focus on other teams, because the second you start doing that, you start to overthink things and you make mistakes and your confidence starts to decline. The 96th minute is on the board, by the way, so this game is done and dusted. Game over, I'd say, so far. Referee's about to blow his whistle. He doesn't. But Wolves are in there. They're attacking our goal right now, so that's not good. Into the corner flag they go. Bit of a treatment for ourselves, but City win the ball throw-in. Wolves are about to go mental, beating the treble winners. Kalvin Phillips, he doesn't want it there, but he does well to win it, in fairness to him. Knocked long. Foul on Kalvin Phillips. One last chance to boot it forward. Have we got? I mean, really, should be done and dusted. I imagine this game's over. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of game over terminologies in the chat. Oh well, can't win every game. Onwards and upwards. There's the final whistle. Wolves have won. Game over. Stings, that does. Stings a little bit. But I think I'm going to wake up in the morning and try and reflect on this a little bit. I'm going to do my match reaction after this game, of course. I'm going to wake up in the morning and reflect on it a little bit and give credit to the fact that we are top of the league still. Liverpool, of course, can go top after this game. We're going to be watching that Spurs-Liverpool game with a close eye, but ultimately it's been a poor afternoon for City. Lots of lessons need to be absorbed from Pep Guardiola and the players. I think the quality in the final third just was not good enough, and it's all good and well having plenty of possession. If you're not creating enough clear-cut chances, then you're not going to win the game. You're not going to win the game. And Wolves, they played well. They defended valiantly. Really good performance from Wolves. You can't argue. They took their chances when they came. Arguably, their chances came a bit fortuitous. I'll try and get the word out. Fortunately, but ultimately, I think you can't really argue as City fans right now. We can't really blame anyone in this situation. I think you can look at the referee and potentially say Hwang should have had a second yellow card, but you're clutching at straws there a little bit, because it's not just that moment that's cost the game. There's plenty of other moments to rectify this. Really, really disappointing. But thanks so much for joining me in this stream, and I do major apologies for it not being as professional as it should be. Accurate times and the clock was all over the place. Bit disappointing from that point of view, but Jeff, thank you so much. I'm going to try and organise that for it to be future 3 o'clock kickoffs. I'm hoping we'll be a little bit more accurate with live action, with what's going on, so you're not so delayed in the action. Cheers, Jeff, by the way. Cheers, Jeff. That's a statement. Cheers, Jeff. That's a famous statement. So, yeah, cheers, Jeff. But not cheers, City, unfortunately. A disappointing loss. But thanks again for sticking with me. Good numbers in the chat. Really appreciate you guys tuning in, albeit some of the stream from me wasn't as in time as it should have been. But I'm going to fix that. I promise I will get it sorted and be a bit more accurate going forward. 2-1 Wolves, really disappointing. Thanks again for joining me in the watch along. Come and join me for the match reaction after this, and I'll see you in the next one.